Hey, Canada, it's Rick again. So, Justin or Pierre? That's right, election fever is back. 2025 is just around the corner, and the political heat is on. One of the hottest topics on the table? You guessed it, immigration. It's an issue that always gets Canadians talking, debating, sometimes even arguing. From coast to coast to coast, everyone's got an opinion. In this series, we're diving headfirst into the immigration policies of Canada's major political parties. We'll break it down, plain and simple, so you can make an informed decision come election day. Now, you might be thinking, Rick, why all the fuss about immigration? Well, my friends, it's simple. Canada, as we know and love it, was built by immigrants. Our country thrives on diversity, on the contributions of people from all walks of life. We need a strong, smart immigration system to keep our economy booming and our communities vibrant. Each party vying for your vote has a different vision for Canada's immigration system. The Conservatives, the Liberals, the NDP, they've all got plans, and trust me, they couldn't be more different. We'll examine their promises, their priorities, and the potential impact on Canada's future. The 2025 election is shaping up to be one for the history books, and immigration is at the heart of it all. All right, folks. Before we dive into the nitty-gritty of each party's immigration platform, let's take a step back and look at where Canada stands today. We pride ourselves on being a mosaic, a cultural tapestry woven together by threads from every corner of the globe. From the first waves of European settlers to the more recent influx of newcomers from Asia, Africa, and the Americas, Canada has always been a destination for those seeking a better life. Our current immigration system is based on a points-based system designed to attract skilled workers who can contribute to our economy. We also have programs for family reunification, allowing Canadians and permanent residents to sponsor their loved ones to join them here. Now let's talk numbers, folks. Canada has set ambitious immigration targets in recent years, aiming to welcome over 400,000 newcomers annually. Why so many, you ask? Well, our population is aging, and we need young blood to keep our workforce strong and our economy humming. Points are awarded for things like education, work experience, language proficiency. You know, the kind of skills that make a valuable contributor to Canadian society. But hey, that's what elections are for, right? To debate these issues and find solutions that work for all Canadians. Now, even with the best intentions, Canada's immigration system isn't without its hiccups. Processing times can be long, leaving applicants in limbo for months, even years. Helping newcomers settle in, learn the language, and find their place in Canadian society is crucial. The key, folks, is to get the balance right. All right, folks, let's talk about the Conservative Party and their vision for Canada's immigration system. Now, the Conservatives, they're known for their focus on fiscal responsibility, controlled spending, and yes, you guessed it, controlled immigration. They recognize the value of newcomers to our economy and our communities, but they believe in a more measured approach, one that emphasizes economic needs and what they see as responsible growth. It's about finding that balance, we say, between welcoming newcomers and protecting what makes Canada, well, Canada.
So, how do the Conservatives plan to achieve this balance? Well, they're big fans of the points-based system, but they believe it needs a tune-up, a bit of a conservative makeover, if you will. They want to tweak the points system to prioritize in-demand skills and occupations, making sure that Canada is attracting the workers we need most. They're also keen on streamlining the immigration process, cutting down on red tape and bureaucracy. The Conservatives are taking a hard line on border security, promising to crack down on illegal crossings and strengthen enforcement measures. They're talking about expanding programs for skilled tradespeople, entrepreneurs and investors, folks who can create jobs and boost economic growth. Now let's talk about integration. The Conservatives believe that newcomers should make every effort to integrate into Canadian society, and they see learning English or French as crucial to that process. They're proposing increased funding for language training programs and support services to help newcomers adapt to their new home. The Conservatives counter that integration is not about erasing one's culture, but about embracing Canadian values like freedom, democracy, and equality. The Conservative Party's vision for Canada's immigration system is one of controlled growth, economic pragmatism, and a strong emphasis on integration.
Okay, folks, buckle up because we're switching gears and heading into Liberal territory now. When it comes to immigration, the Liberals are known for their more progressive stance, often championing a compassionate and inclusive approach. They see Canada as a beacon of hope, a welcoming haven for those seeking a better life. The Liberals believe that diversity is our strength, that welcoming newcomers makes us a stronger, more vibrant nation. Under their watch, Canada has welcomed record numbers of immigrants in recent years. They see immigration as crucial to tackling our demographic challenges, addressing labour shortages, and keeping our economy competitive on the world stage.
The Liberals see immigration as an investment in Canada's future. They argue that by attracting skilled workers, entrepreneurs, and young families, we're injecting energy and talent into our economy. They're particularly focused on attracting skilled workers to fill critical labor shortages in sectors like healthcare, technology, and trades. They believe that newcomers who are reunited with their loved ones are more likely to settle successfully and contribute to Canadian society. The Liberals believe that Canada has a moral obligation to offer refuge to those fleeing war, persecution, and humanitarian crises. The Liberal approach to immigration isn't without its critics. Some argue that their open-door policies put a strain on our social services and infrastructure. The Liberals counter that while there are challenges, the benefits of immigration far outweigh the costs. They argue that immigrants contribute significantly to our economy, pay taxes, and create jobs. They believe that by striking the right balance between compassion and responsibility, Canada can continue to be a welcoming and prosperous nation for generations to come.
All right, folks, let's shift gears again and talk about the New Democratic Party, or NDP as they're commonly known. Now, the NDP, they're known for their focus on social justice, economic equality, and you guessed it, a people-centered approach to immigration. They see immigration not just as an economic policy, but as a matter of human rights and social responsibility. For the NDP, it's about welcoming newcomers with open arms, ensuring fair treatment, and creating a truly inclusive Canada. So, how do the NDP plan to make the immigration system fairer and more equitable?
Well, they're calling for a major overhaul of the points-based system, arguing that it's too narrow and doesn't adequately value the skills and experiences of many newcomers. They want to see a broader range of factors considered, such as language skills, community involvement, and adaptability. The NDP is also a staunch advocate for refugees. They believe that Canada has a moral obligation to provide refuge to those fleeing persecution and violence.
Now, when it comes to integration, the NDP emphasizes a two-way street.
They believe that newcomers should be supported in preserving their cultural identities while also being given the tools to participate fully in Canadian society. They want to see more funding for multicultural programs, anti-racism initiatives, and community organizations that promote intercultural understanding. They believe that by creating a more equitable and just society, we can unlock the potential of all Canadians, regardless of their background or immigration status.
Section 1. Quebec's distinct voice on immigration. All right, folks, we're heading east now to Quebec, a province with its own unique history, culture, and yes, its own distinct perspective on immigration.
Now, Quebec has always marched to the beat of its own drum, and when it comes to immigration, it's no different. Remember, Quebec has its own agreement with the federal government on immigration. giving it more say in who settles within its borders. They're looking out for their own needs, folks, ensuring that newcomers can integrate into Quebec's French-speaking majority.
Now, two parties dominate the political landscape in Quebec, the Bloc Québécois and the coalition Avenir Quebec, or KAQ for short. Both parties agree that Quebec needs more autonomy on immigration, but they have different visions for what that looks like.
The Bloc, they're all about asserting Quebec's independence, and that includes having complete control over immigration. The KAQ, on the other hand, they're focused on attracting skilled workers who can contribute to Quebec's economy, while also preserving the province's French language and culture. So let's dive into the specifics, shall we?
Bloc Québécois, champions of provincial control, promoting Quebec's interests on the federal stage. Immigration is a key part of their platform.
Quebec needs more control over who comes in and under what conditions. They argue the current system doesn't cut it. Quebec should determine its own immigration needs.
Full control over economic immigrants, family reunification and refugee resettlement. Tailoring policies to Quebec's needs, protecting the French language. Coalition Avenir Quebec, KAQ, striking a balance. The CAQ is in power in Quebec. They're different from the Bloc. They focus on economic pragmatism and cultural preservation.
The KAQ wants skilled immigrants who will integrate and learn French. They're not shy about setting conditions.
Measures to reduce immigration levels aim to ensure proper integration. Strengthened French language requirements are essential.
Balancing economic needs with cultural concerns, attracting talent while retaining Quebec's character.
A tale of four parties, immigration showdowns. Hold on to your toques, Canada, because things are about to get interesting. We've heard from the Conservatives, the Liberals, the NDP, and those Quebec powerhouses, the Bloc Québécois and the KQ. Now it's time to compare and contrast. The Liberals aim for big immigration targets, over 400,000 newcomers a year. The Conservatives preach a more measured approach. The NDP focuses on fairness and social justice. Quebec wants more control over immigration to protect their culture. Canada's future, your choice, your voice. The 2025 election is a nail-biter with immigration at its heart. Conservatives value controlled growth and economic prudence. Liberals bet on diversity and a welcoming nation. NDP taps into the desire for a just and compassionate society. In Quebec, it's a battle for the province's soul. The choices we make at the ballot box have real consequences. The future of Canada depends on your vote. The stakes more than just policy. Well, folks, there you have it. We've waded through the platforms, crunched the numbers, and heard from all sides of the immigration debate. It's a lot to digest, I know, but this isn't just some political game, some abstract policy discussion. This is about real people, real lives, real dreams. Behind every statistic, every policy proposal, there's a human face. A family hoping to reunite, a refugee seeking safety, a skilled worker eager to contribute. These aren't just numbers on a spreadsheet, these are our neighbours, our colleagues, our fellow Canadians. The choices we make in the 2025 election will have a profound impact on their lives. Will they find a welcoming hand or a closed door? Will they have the opportunity to build a better future or face insurmountable barriers? Will they be treated with dignity and respect or subjected to suspicion and discrimination? This isn't just about immigration, it's about who we are as Canadians, it's about our values, our identity, our very soul. Your vote, your Canada, make it count. So, what's it going to be, Canada? Will we continue to be a beacon of hope for those seeking a better life, a nation built on diversity and compassion, or will we turn inwards, closing our hearts and our borders to the world? The answer, my friends, lies in your hands. Your vote is your voice. It's your chance to shape the future of our nation, to decide what kind of Canada we want to leave for our children and grandchildren. Don't let anyone tell you your vote doesn't matter. It does. It matters now more than ever. Get informed, read the platforms, talk to your candidates, ask the tough questions. And on election day, get out there and make your voice heard. Be the Canada you want to see, be the change you want to make. The future is in your hands, don't let it slip away. If you like this video, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. We aim to bring you many more such interesting videos every week. If you want us to cover anything specific or have anything to share, please let us know in the comments section.